Okay. Eden is an actual place, near or in Israel at a place called Beer Lahai. Um, and Eden is an actual place on Earth because people have tried to tell me that Eden is a place that is star systems away, and it is not star systems away. It is on Earth. But the reason that they want you hooked into all this is because if you believe Eden is star systems away, you're more likely to believe in the um the space aliens. Um Now the space aliens too, they have some really weird names for some of their constellations. Like I think it is Zeta Reticuli, the guys that are supposed to be on our side that are against Satan. Um the aliens that are supposed to be on our side are from Orion and Zeta Reticuli. And they're supposed to be basically trying to prevent the end times from coming too, as far as I know. Um, but that it's funny because Zeta Reticuli, actually, what you're saying, I think I researched it before and I found out actually what you're saying is underwear, or something really stupid is what Zeta Reticuli means. Um, and it was just something that I I looked at and I thought, oh really? So I hope that was just one of those weird websites where they just put a bunch of false information up um, to lead us off the trail instead of on the trail. They have found what they consider to be proof of aliens, where they've come down and they've ripped animals to shreds, um, because I guess they want their meat or they see us killing animals and they think they should kill animals. They think it's normal or something like that. Um, you never know what an alien could be thinking. But I'm not sure. I'm not believing in the fact that there are aliens necessarily, but I'm not going to say that there's not. Because Cain, when he transgressed against God, he was moved to a place called Nod, um, which you find later he's got to roam the earth, wander the earth. He's cursed to wander the earth, as a vagabond, basically, without a place, without a home, um, because Nod is his home, and the place of wandering is his home. Nod kind of translates into a place of wandering. So he's got to wander the earth. But could it be that aliens came down or creatures that lived a long time could figure out time travel or something like that and could come down or already be there and be like angels, be like actual aliens and come down and convince Cain to kill Abel? Because they seem to be into killing quite a bit with killing this animal so gruesomely. I think they took a deer and they just shredded it to pieces. The way that they killed it was horrifying. Um, but could it be that they have taken the Cain's mark or whatever and are under the curse of God? So they need meat to sustain themselves, because I've also gone through that in my mind. I'm like, maybe they need meat to sustain themselves because they can't be healthy without a lot of meat because they transgress a lot or basically sin a lot, and um, basically this meat helps sustain them. It gives their blood life when their blood heads toward death because of all the bad things that they're doing, all the drugs that they're taking, all the wrong ways they're approaching things to do, how they're building kind of senselessly, having to have the biggest buildings in the highest places. High places in the Bible is a sin. Um, or at least it's approached as a sin that they would always the aliens and whatnot would always build these high places to idols to Satan. Um, so these high places were definitely sins according to the Bible, if nothing else, because they put God last. Um, so anyway, but could it be because they worship Satan and some of them, I think they honestly think Satan is God. Some of them are convinced. But others of them con- haven't been as convinced as them, I think some of the Zeta Reticulans that they say are supposed to be on our side um, are probably terrified of Cain and terrified of Satan, probably terrified of these people. Um, so they go out and get meat however they can, um, which apparently this time was a deer. But we're coming up with better. I think we're coming up with better meat solutions anyway as we go, because we're starting to make lab meat. And if that goes well, that's like taking some cells from a deer's butt or something like that, and making some meat out of it, having it grow in a dish and making more meat than you would originally have just by taking some shots from the deer of the cells. But anyway, these aliens, I keep going back and forth in my mind because I don't want to not believe in them, but I don't want to believe in them either without evidence. And I just keep looking for things to convince me that there's evidence, and I'm not finding a lot of evidence, very little. So if they're trying to keep their existence minimal to where no one knows about them, they're doing a good job. Because as far as I can tell, at best they're descendants of Cain and they're like Satan, which would put them in human bodies like us. Because if they're descendants of Cain and he's in a human, he's, I don't know if he's in a human body or not, technically, because he's got the mark of the beast. If you look at, his forehead or whatever, it's got the mark of the beast on it. Like God set a mark on his forehead, lest any finding him would kill him. So you will see that he's got a mark on his forehead, and I think it is the mark of the beast too. But anyway, no one finding him is going to kill him anyway. But anyway, that leads me to believe that there's not aliens except for the humans that have maybe become part alien or something like that, become giants or like children of Cain. Because maybe they're born with different marks on their heads. I'm not sure. Because Jesus indicated that the gospel was not for all people. He said not for all these, but for those that thou hast given me, for they are thine, and all thine are mine, and mine are thine, and I am glorified in them. So he basically said that the Bible is not for all people. Um, so that's something else that we've got to consider, is not all humans on the earth are made to understand the ways of righteousness. Some of them are made to go with the wicked and to side with the wicked. So we know that from the Bible. So there's technically no reason for us to push against it.